Well, it was appropriate that St. Peter's Basilica in Rome was struck by lightning yesterday, on the same day that Pope Benedict XVI announced his resignation. This is St. Malachi, a 12th century Irish bishop who in 1139 AD travelled to Rome and apparently received a vision of all the future pontiffs. It became known as the prophecy of the popes. And basically this was a prophecy, a list of all the future popes that would head up the Catholic Church starting from 1143. And you can go down the list here. They've got a list on Wikipedia. Right through until the present day. Of course, the resignation yesterday, the announcement of the resignation of Ratzinger. And then after him, we find the final pope. And although a lot of these prophecies are open to wild interpretation, several of them actually proved stunningly accurate. Here's an example that Market Watch is reporting on. For instance, and this is one of the prophecies of St. Malachi, John Paul I is listed as de Metier Lunae, meaning the middle of the moon. Modern interpreters say this predicted that John Paul I's reign would begin during a half moon and last just 1 month, which it did. And then it goes on to talk about John Paul II described being of the sun's labour because he was born during a solar eclipse. And as the International Business Times reports today, according to the prophecy, Pope John Paul II fit that description because he was born on a solar eclipse and he was entombed on April 8th, 2005 when another solar eclipse occurred. So in the case of John Paul I, John Paul II, St. Malachi's predictions, according to those interpretations, appeared to be accurate. So what is St. Malachi saying about the Pope who is set to succeed Ratzinger when he resigns in a few weeks' time? This is what he said. In extreme persecution, the seat of the Holy Roman Church will be occupied by Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations, and when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills, which is Rome, will be destroyed, and the terrible or fearsome judge will judge his people. And St. Malachi predicted that the next pope, Peter the Roman, will be the final pope. The list does not go on. He's slated to be the last pope of the Catholic Church. So who, according to betting websites, is one of the favourites to become the next pope? It's this guy. And guess what his name is? Cardinal Peter Turkson. Or as St. Malachi would have it, Petrus Romanus or Peter the Roman. So the guy who is one of the front runners to become the next pope, his name would fit in precisely with the prophecy of the popes made by St. Malachi. And if that wasn't apocalyptic enough for you, there's also a reference in the book of Revelations, jiving with what St. Malachi said about the destruction of the city of 7 hills. Within the book of Revelation, also known as the Apocalypse of John, are references to this destruction of the city of 7 hills, Rome, and to the many trials that will be faced by mankind ahead of the final judgment, the rapture, the rise of the Antichrist, 7 years of tribulations, and the end of days. Suffice to say, if the prophecy is accurate, then the world will soon be engulfed in a battle between good and evil.